Hello and welcome to another P.Ventures video. Today we are going to be talking about how to get started making money on Fiverr. Now if you don't know what Fiverr is, a brief introduction, Fiverr.com, and there are some similar websites that we'll make videos about in the future like TaskRabbit, other stuff. But Fiverr is a website where you can basically offer services over the internet. And sometimes it can lead into more of something physical, but in often cases it is a online only thing. So we'll get into it. Of course, you need to make a Fiverr account. I won't go into the details. It's mostly the same setup as you would do for anything, you know, an email, blah, blah, blah. But you're going to want to switch to selling once you've set up your account. So that way you can get into selling, of course. Now what we'll kind of start with is our profile, which you can, go through that way, or clicking on dashboard will basically lead you to a similar thing. But of course, you want to add what you have to offer. So, a decently professional picture, which mine kind of is. But, you don't want to have a meme of like something nonsensical, or, you want to have it relatively professional. So I recommend just a picture of you. It works very well. Continuing on, have a simple @ if you can, and name. Location works well too, and what languages you speak, because of course, that could vary. If you speak 3 languages, you'll be able to help, a lot more people with certain gigs. Then, of course, go into your About section. I'd say mainly keep this focused on what your main kind of gigs are, but you could extend it out into a couple different things, or just a general actual bio about you, and dedication or something like that. And then other things to offer where you can do an intro video, something I haven't gotten into, but it can help, like it says, build credibility and trust, portfolio of past projects, stuff like that, your education if you have like degrees, certifications, and skills and expertise. All stuff you can get into adding. And if we actually do go straight to back to the dashboard here, you can see it goes over some of the stuff that you can do to get into stuff. If you're starting new, you'll have a lot more tips here for setting up things. But we'll go into level, which we'll click progression on here. Now your level is going to help you to earn money quicker. It's going to help with a lot of things here. I think we can compare benefits. I'm only level 1, unfortunately, but you can see here some of the things it helps with, being level 2 or 3, access to consultants, join seller plus premium, earlier payout for, top rated, stuff like that. And access to more gigs is another bonus as you level up. So to get leveling up, we can click on these. Success score is kind of a newer thing. It's a metric of just basically each gig and adding that together to get a certain level. Your rating, of course, this is, how people review you and how well you did on those projects. So, you want to push for good reviews, try and make customers happy, of course. Response rate, mine has been lacking, of course, because I kind of forgot that my gigs were off. That's another important thing. Your gigs will need to be reactivated every 30 days, and I kind of forgot for 2 months there. Next thing is orders. So you need to have at least 5 orders to qualify for the next level. And it shows, obviously, the other targets. Unique clients, so different people ordering, not just one person making 50 orders, you know what I mean? And earnings. So you need to at least make, for me, it's in Canadian, so obviously you could do the, the calculations there if you're American or somewhere else. But 580 is what you need to make to get to level 1, or I guess I'm like new level 0. So to get to level 1, that's how much I need to have made. I've made like 50, I believe, 52 Canadian. So in the progress, I've been on and off with this, but the times that I have had my gigs up, that's when I have made the money, of course. it kind of shows you down here too some other things you can get as you level up. I'll just do a quick scroll through that. Other than that, that basically covers the levels and, you know, why it's important to try and level up, because, you know, this kind of acts as a goal as well. So you can be like, okay, I need to start getting on my response rate, or I need to get success score. And something I can say but not necessarily recommend is you could game some of these by, you know, ordering off of your own orders. So you could just make another account, technically speaking. I'm not saying you should, but you could make other accounts and respond to their messages, send yourself a certain amount of money to get to the next level. Stuff like that, if you really wanted to progress your account farther. I'm not recommending, sorry, that you do that, but it is what it is. Moving on to actual gigs. Like I said, you can only, or I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but you can only have 4 to start at level 0. So I recommend you use, you know, 2 or 3 of these as your main kind of area. So I have 2 that are related to music, but I could expand out. I have one that is help you build or improve a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck and teach you to side hustle. So I recommend you keep some, of course, especially the ones that are working the best or making you the most money. Keep them and then save 1 or 2 active gig slots so that you can try something else. And of course, you will have to delete the gigs to make room for new ones, but you could always just take down all of the info and put it into a notepad file or whatever. That way you can just copy and paste and basically just have a list of gigs that you can slot in and out, or, you know, rework. You can edit your gigs as you go. And I am going to make a video about making specifically gigs and how to make them the best, you know, for selling to or getting people to click on them and, you know, buy from you. Of course, some other things you can set up are like auto responses. You know, there's a various amount of little things you can add. You can go through your analytics, show you some of the stuff here. Obviously, nothing made in this specific last couple month or couple months, but then you can start to see areas. Then you can start to work with different stuff. You know, keyword research is unfortunately locked. I don't know what you have to get to. That is plus, yeah. So, but you can start to kind of do your own key research. I recommend you can, like I said, you can kind of do looking through stuff on Fiverr that are similar to your ideas, but don't copy people. But, you know, take their ideas and kind of work with them if it's similar to your idea. Take inspiration. And like I said, video coming soon about making gigs. And, you know, push for those good reviews and feedback, like I was mentioning, because that's your main thing. You want to keep your reviews up just to get that level up, 1, and 2, because no one's going to buy from you if you have terrible reviews. So do what you can to get those reviews solid. And that basically covers it, other than, you know, make sure you reactivate your gigs every 30 months, or at least come back and rework, add new gigs, retest things. That basically covers all the starter intro stuff to getting into Fiverr. And like I said, I've only probably had 3 months of active Fiverr, and that's led to, you know, $52. And as you rolling and you're going, you get repeat customers and, you know, different people asking for different stuff, and you maybe realize different skills that you might be able to apply to Fiverr. So like I said, stay tuned for that video on coming up with ideas for gigs and, you know, making them as best as possible so that you're always getting those clicks, the click-throughs, and the buy-throughs, whatever you want to call it, and good reviews. So like I said, stay tuned for that video. Make sure to check out my other stuff. We do all kinds of side hustle videos, as well as product reviews for like stuff on Amazon. All kinds of stuff, and future videos coming up, you know, like Amazon affiliate, like I said, TaskRabbit, all kinds of stuff, Facebook Marketplace, another Kijiji video. Our first one did very well, so stay tuned for all that. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will leave a link to Fiverr below, as well as a link to my Fiverr in case any of the gigs you saw interest you. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.